What's up, everyone? The Gravekeeper here with another video. So I received a special request to explain how the Yu-Gi-Oh deck Floowandereeze work, aka birds. So I'm going to give some basic tutorials on some basic combos on exactly how this deck works. These are just basic combos, like go-to combos this deck relies on. So here's one of the combos. I got the deck separated from monsters, traps, and spells just so I can find the cards easier when showing the combos. So typically you want to start off with Rabina. Rabina's effect allows you to search any little bird from your deck and add it to your hand. These would be all of your little birds right here. You have 2 more Rabinas, 3 Eaglins to choose from. In my deck, I run 2 Strees. Some people only run, and then 1 Toucan. Typically, the main combo, the most basic combo, you search out Eaglin and add it to your hand off Rabina's effect. And then Rabina, along with all of the other little birds, allow you to gain an additional normal summon this turn, right? So you would use its effect to normal summon Eaglin, and then Eaglin's effect will go off, allows you to search a big bird when it's normal summoned. Most people run 2 Impin, 1 Miss Valley, and 1 Mega Monarch, right? I threw in the Snow just as, just a way to combat Kashtira by flipping their Exceed monsters face down. It was also a good way to combat Brandon as well. But most people just run these 4, and typically in the main basic combo, you search out Impin, which is your main boss monster in the deck with Eaglin's effect. And then Eaglin's effect allows you to normal summon again, so you tribute both of them. When the little birds leave the field, they get banished instead of going to the graveyard. And then you tribute summon your Impin onto the field. And then a chain reaction starts in this basic combo, right? So it'll go Chain Link 1, and then typically go for Rabina, Chain Link 2, right? All your little birds, if a Wing Beast monster is normal summon, I think it's Wing Beast monster, let me refresh my memory. Let me see, if a face-up card will leave the field banished, if a Wing Beast monster is normal summon. Yeah, I was correct. My memory served me correctly. I can't remember if it was Wing Beast or Floowandereeze monster. It's Wing Beast monster. And this is a Wing Beast monster, so when a Wing Beast monster is normal summoned to the field, you can add your banished bird back to your hand. So you go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. Rabina goes back to the hand, right? And then Impin's effect allows you to search any spell or trap card Floowandereeze from your deck and add it to your hand. Typically in the main combo, you go after Dreaming Town, so that goes in your hand. And Impin also has the effect to where you gain an additional normal summon. So if you wanted to, you can normal summon again. In most scenarios when running this deck, I usually stop at Impin, set my trap cards, set any other cards I may have, pass turn. That's the basic combo, right? Now what Dreaming Town does is during my opponent's turn, don't forget your opponent has turn priority, right? So you have to wait for them to make a play. You can't just activate it off rip. After they make 1 play, you can activate this at any time. You activate Dreaming Town. Dreaming Town allows you to normal summon a level 4 or lower bird from your hand to the field on their turn. So you would normal summon Rabina. This goes to the graveyard, right? We'll pretend that's the graveyard. Here, I'll just move this here, and we'll pretend this is the graveyard, right? We'll put this right here, actually. And then Rabina's effect will trigger, so Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, another chain reaction. Eaglin goes back to your hand. Rabina, this is happening on your opponent's turn. Rabina allows you to search. Typically, you would search out Stree in this scenario, and then you gain an additional normal summon on your opponent's turn. That's what makes this deck so good, the fact you can play on your opponent's turn. Eaglin's effect, chain, there is no banished card, so you just do Chain 1. You search out another big bird. In this scenario, you'd usually go for Miss Valley, right? And then allows you an additional normal summon, so you tribute them both. They get banished. Miss Valley hits the field, and then you can do Chain 1. Since a Winged Beast monster was normal summon, you can add Rabina back to your hand. So the little birds are constantly cycling from your hand to the field to the banish back to your hand, right? So you're never losing them. They don't ever go to the graveyard. that's one thing I really like about this deck, is the fact that you don't really negative in this deck. You're always keeping cards, keeping your birds rotating, and keeping your hand filled up. You don't ever run out of cards, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Now, Mist Valley, once per chain, you can bounce it back to your hand to negate an opponent's card effect, which is really good. So that's the basic combo right there. That's the #1 go-to combo in this deck. I will show one more combo. It's similar. All the combos in this deck are similar, just done like in different ways. Let me put everything back in order just so I can find everything okay when comboing for this video. All right, so another combo. Now this is the combo you want, right? So you want to have Magnificent Map and Rabina in your hand, right? Either Magnificent Map, Event Adventure, or Terraforming, right? Event Adventure allows you to search your map from your deck, add it to your hand. Terraforming does the same thing, right? So ideally, you want Magnificent Map in your hand because this card will really allow you to pop off. So your first turn, you play Magnificent Map. It's a field card, so it goes in the field center. Activate Magnificent Map. It allows you to review a bird in your hand to banish a bird, or banish any Floowandereeze card from your deck to the field. So you banish Rabina, or not Rabina, Eaglin, right? And then you normal Rabina, and then chain 1, chain 2. This goes to your hand. Now you can search. Because Eaglin was banished, you can search out your Stree instead of an Eaglin, right? It's a +1 in hand. And then its effect to normal, search. You add Impin, the main boss monster, tribute. See, it's the same combo for the most part. And then you can add Rabina back to your hand, chain 1, chain 2, search your trap. If you wanted to, because you get an additional normal summon, you can normal summon Stree. Stree allows you to banish one card in the graveyard, so you can banish a card in either's graveyard. I mean, that's always a possibility. And then in this scenario, you set pass turn. See, it's literally the same thing, just done in a different way. The reason you want Map, though, is because Map allows you to normal summon from your hand by reviewing, banish, like you saw me do, and then normal summon without using your normal summon for the turn. So you still have a normal summon left, your regular normal summon. That's why Map's so good. Map will really allow you to pop off. Now, of course, in this example, I only did 2 cards, Map and Rabina. That's it. Obviously, you're going to have 3 more cards in your hand your opening turn, 5 cards total. So yeah, those are the main basic combos. I'll do one test hand real fast. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I don't want this video to be super long. It's already going on 8 minutes. Plus, I got to shuffle because I got everything, you know, together. Let me do a quick pile shuffle here. And I just started using these sleeves. I've had these sleeves since 2016 when I made Nats, and I never opened them until now. I finally decided to open them. Also, I do not run an extra deck. The reason I do not run an extra deck is because Kashtira needs to banish cards from your opponent's extra deck to zone lock, right? To zone lock all the zones. So not running an extra deck will prevent them from locking all my zones. That's the main. I used to run an extra deck. Used to have like Zeus and some of the little Exceed birds. And some random cards just for prosperity targets. I used to run prosperity. I don't anymore since I don't have an extra deck. So let's run a quick test hand and see how this goes. Watch, I'll probably brick on camera. That'd be my luck. I almost did. So we'll play Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality allows me to reveal the top 3 cards of my deck, select one, and add it to my hand. Very, very good. It's a good way to unbrick your hand. Alright, so if I didn't have Pot of Duality, this hand would have been a brick. I have to have a little bird or this deck cannot function. If there's no little birds, it's a brick hand. So I will add my Rabina. These go back to the deck, right? You shuffle. I'm not going to shuffle though because I don't want to take the time to. And then I'll go ahead and do that combo I just showed you. Normal summon Rabina. Rabina's effect. We'll add the Eaglin, right? Rabina's effect to normal, Eglin's effect to search. Now I already have Impin in hand, right? So I will search out something else. We'll just go ahead and add the Mist Valley, just to get it in my hand, and then we'll go ahead and tribute. They get banished. Chain 1, chain 2, add Rabina back to hand, go ahead and search out a spell or trap. Now, I could search out my map, right? But I want to be able to play on my opponent's turn. So, I mean, map allows me to play on my opponent's turn too as well. For those of you who don't know map, if your opponent normal summons, you can normal summon right after they normal summon is what map does. But that's only if they normal summon. They can get around that by special summoning, right? Dreaming Town allows me to play on their turn regardless of what they do. So we'll add Dreaming Town. And then we will just go ahead and set Dreaming Town, set a Harpy's Featherstorm, set an anti-spell, pass turn. This is actually a really good board because at the start of their turn, I'm going to activate anti-spell, which means all spell cards have to be set face down for one turn. They can't activate any spell cards this turn. And then activate Harpy's Featherstorm. Harpy's Featherstorm makes it so all of my opponent's monster effects are negated for the entire turn. They literally cannot do anything except just end their turn. That's literally the only thing they can do. And then next turn, I can also play Dreaming Town on their turn as well. So activate anti-spell, activate Harpy's Featherstorm, and then at some point in their turn, activate Dreaming Town, normal, chain 1, chain 2. Here we go. Let's get that Stree. Oh, that's Rabina. Stree. Normal Eglin. Eglin's effect, I already have Mist Valley, so in this scenario, I mean, I could go for another Impin. Let's go for another Impin, because Impin allows you an extra normal summon and a search, right? So tribute. This is in the graveyard. Chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. So when Dreaming Town's in the graveyard, you can banish it to flip all your opponent's monsters face down, right? Add Rabina to hand, search. And we'll add my map. So I just got my map that way. Now this allows me an additional normal summon, so we'll normal summon Stree. I will banish my Harpy's Featherstorm, and then we'll just go ahead and tribute both of these for Mist Valley. This actually does not get banished, only the little birds do. And then we can bounce my Stree back to my hand. Pretty good, guys. Pretty good. And let's just shuffle. We'll pretend my opponent cut it, and we'll see what my next draw is for my next turn. Draw. It's another anti-spell. So if they destroy this one, I have another one, plus another Harpy's Featherstorm. So let's just pretend they somehow destroy that, right? Set. Do all my shenanigans. Play map, you know. Pass turn. If they survive, which they probably won't. This is a GG more than likely. Pass turn. Harpy's Featherstorm. No more monster effects. Anti-spell. No spell cards. I mean, so you're seeing how Floowandereeze work. It's a pretty wild deck, and it's such a simple deck too. It's not complex or anything. It's a little complex, but it's not like super complex. You can pick up on it pretty easily after you practice with it a little bit. It's a stun deck. It's built to not allow my opponent play the game, basically. Alright, thanks for watching this video. That's the tutorial on basic combos for Floowandereeze.